US, and then Michelle. Do you see my screen?
So I'll just welcome everyone to this week's Madafeh at the Palestine Museum US. We're here live from Venice, and we have with us today Lamis Dajani, Shawa, Samira Badran, Jacqueline Bajani, Hani Amra, Rasha Al-Jundi, and Michelle Jabarin. Welcome everyone. We had an incredible opening yesterday with the exhibit Foreigners in Their Homeland, and occupation, apartheid, genocide, and now we are having an informal conversation with these honored guests. So thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we'll go ahead and get started with Rasha and Michelle's presentation of their incredible contribution to this exhibit. Thanks.
Thank you, Krista.
Do you see my screen, Michelle?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay.
We see it. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, maybe I would choose another word to describe it, since it describes the title of the exhibition itself. It's literally Foreigners in Their Homeland, and in this epic, we decided to mirror our personal experience, both of us, Rasha and I, on the things that make us feel as foreigners in our homeland. Being two Palestinians in exile, me myself a Palestinian in exile inside Palestine, and Rasha as an exile outside of Palestine, and the fact that exile gathered us made us also just go through this hardcore investigation into what both of us felt the moment that the first time Rasha and I were able to be at the same time in Palestine last year. And I think working on this piece was just a translation to all of these things that we witnessed together, that we were not only observers to, but also we were subject to. Because Palestine, with occupation, with a settler colonialism that's eating the land piece by piece as a cancer, with the heavy military surveillance, which we clearly can see in the genocide that's taking place since decades, but now with the uptick in it in Gaza, as well as its extension in the West Bank, we can see all of these elements together. I will just start with reading the text that we wrote for this piece in Arabic. Rasha also can read the text in English, and maybe we can give a little bit of space to elaborate on it, to describe maybe the process that we went through as two people working on this piece in different places, mixing our different maybe skills or backgrounds between photography, illustration, collage, and this digital artwork, plus digging the archive, the Palestinian archive, as well as ours, to create this piece. I'll just start with reading the Arabic text, if that's okay, and then Rasha will read the English one. So the piece is called Skin Carnage, or in Arabic, مذبحة الجسد, or مذبحة الجلد. And the Arabic text reads: أنا اللي سلخت جلدك ولبسته، أنا اللي سرقت تعبك وذهبك وذكرياتك، أنا اللي خطفت فكرك وطمسته، أنا اللي سلبت وقتك وأسرارك، أنا اللي حبست أحبابك، أنا اللي دفنت أحيائك، أنا اللي نبشت أمواتك، أنا اللي هدمت دارك وبلطت بحرك، أنا اللي خنقت هواك، أنا اللي دهست نورك، أنا اللي نشفت مياتك وبلعت أكلاتك، أنا اللي دميت خبزاتك، أنا اللي ختمت وراءك، أنا اللي نجست بلاطك، أنا اللي حرقت أرضك، أنا اللي هتكت عرضك، أنا الدخيل الغريب، أنا الدخيل الغريب، أنا الذباب، أنا قاتل مأجور، أنا ظلك، أنا مش شايف كيانك، وين غضبك؟ I'll pass the mic to Rasha to read the English text.
Sure. I am the one who skinned you and wore your skin. I am the one who stole your sweat, gold, and memories. I am the one who hijacked your thought and obliterated it. I am the one who stole your time and your secrets. I am the one who imprisoned your loved ones. I am the one who buried your living. I am the one who dug up your dead. I am the one who demolished your home and tiled your sea. I am the one who suffocated your air. I am the one who ran over your light. I am the one who dried up your water and devoured your food. I am the one who bloodied your bread. I am the one who stamped your papers. I am the one who defiled your tiles. I am the one who burned your land. I am the one who violated your honor. I am the strange intruder. I am a fly. I'm a hired killer. I am your shadow. I don't see your being. Where is your rage?
شكرا رشا. Just give it just a second and just for these words to sit in. And for you also just to have a moment of observation to the artwork, and then we can just give some insight on how the process of this happened.
Can I interject also, Michelle? Can I start with the process?
Yeah. Yes.
For the sake of time. So I just wanted to start by saying that it was actually a very interesting process after Faisal contacted us for this exhibition. I think the first thing that I shared with Michelle is one of my inspiration books that I read a few years ago, and it's called Frankenstein in Baghdad, or Frankenstein fi Baghdad. It is an Arabic novel, or written in Arabic. It actually won the Arabic Pulitzer, I forgot which year. And it is translated into different languages, English, I think, French, and Spanish. I think it's available in all languages, major languages. And it really affected me, that novel. It's about the invasion of Iraq and the different explosions and different incidents that killed a lot of Iraqis after the invasion, and how the main character created a monster from all the body parts of the slain Iraqis, and how that monster kind of evolved into a Frankenstein in Baghdad, and how it kind of took revenge of its existence on this land. So I shared that with Michelle, and this is actually, I think this was a starting point, Michelle, when we started then brainstorming what makes each one of us feel like a stranger in their homeland, in and outside. And we actually started with a very simple thing, which is, for me, was having ID cards and having passports and having different stamps and having to go through all these things. So for me, I think that's one of the first things that I mentioned: borders, passports, IDs, visas, and all these things. Yeah, and then I think we took it from there. From my side, I also want to mention that we had several phases of finishing this, because from the idea of creating a monster from both of our faces, my role here was really making the images of our portraits and a few other images that are actually included in this artwork. Some of them are actually photography that I made, not just illustrations or stock images or something. These are actual images or not scans. And this artwork it evolved before going to occupy Palestine, because I didn't know that I could actually go. And then after going and returning, some more images were added. So it kind of evolved over time. We started it, I think, Michelle, in July, and then we finished it in September. So I managed to go to Palestine for a very, very short period of time in August, and we kind of finalized it in September after coming back. It also includes archival images, which is mostly the background. And yeah, so it's really a very interesting piece for me. I've never worked on anything like this before. It combines photography, archival images, collage that Michel created very beautifully, and digital illustrations, which he also created so beautifully. So yeah, it kind of has, it's a very multimedia, very mixed piece.
Just to add to that, one thing that with this creation, even after finishing it, we just took a look and understood that we created something that has, it's kind of an infinite piece. You never know where does it start and where does it finish. Does it start from the edges of the paint of the epic itself, or does it start from the center? Is this monster that is created in the middle actually is burning us and swallowing us and wiping our identity and making us foreigners in our homeland? Or is it an action where we actually reclaim our right to our identity and restore it with force from that monster, and with that we dismantle the monster to restructure our faces again and bring them back to life. I also wanted to add to something that Rasha mentioned before, which is the passports, the stamps, and all of these papers that not only through moving through the landscape or being subject to settler colonialism and occupation firsthand, but also by the arms of this occupation between Palestinians. All of these things extend also to outside of Palestine, to the regimes and the governments that are supporting the occupation, and on top Arab countries' governments. And with their documents, with the differences between our documents as Palestinians living inside Palestine, between areas that are supposedly under the control of the Palestinian Authority, Palestinians who live in Jerusalem, Palestinians who are living in 1948, Palestinians/Syrians who are living in the Golan Heights, Palestinians who live in exile, carrying different documents and passports, in Jordan, in Syria, in Lebanon, in wider exile around the world. We are all Palestinians, but we were and we are never treated the same. Not even with our privileges or disprivileges. And it's also part of the divide and conquer ideology that colonialism always built since long time ago, and is still using it from its textbook. So it's important all the time to highlight this, which is also highlighted here, where you can see some visuals on our faces and even on the military watchtowers. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight this fact, since many people also don't have enough knowledge about the backgrounds of the documents that we hold as Palestinians, and how we, even with our oppression, we are being divided. But we are all subject to this altogether. Yeah, I don't know if there is something else, Rasha, that you want to add, but
No, thank you. That was great.
I want to just
So
comment
what do we have in the
Go
comments
ahead.
or the questions, Krista? Or what?
I mean, people are very moved by what we're seeing. Let me open the Q&A. There's no questions in the Q&A right now. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and feel free to put your comments in the chat. This is a really hugely powerful piece that just really speaks to that declaration as a Palestinian. You're both saying, I exist in spite of all this oppression, the watchtowers, the cameras, the lights, the disruption of people's lives, as you said, all the different statuses that have fragmented Palestinians and scattered them across the globe, even within Palestine. It's just really speaks to all of that. And I want both of you, and then also the other artists that we have with us today, and today's Madafeh to just speak to how important it is for you all as Palestinian artists to express this reality and to assert your identity as Palestinians and your connection to Palestine, particularly in this time where, as you said, the complicity of governments to participate in the erasure and genocide of Palestine and Palestinians.
I think I can take that first. I don't think it has ever crossed my mind that it's not important, whether now or before, and it's never going to stop being important in the future. I never knew anything else other than being Palestinian, and I grew up basically. I'm always angry. This is not the state of anger has never left me. I think people introduce me as my angry friend or my angry partner or just a constant state of anger. And for me, because as Michelle said, I was born in Amman. I grew up in the UAE. I studied in Lebanon. And now I live in Kenya, mostly in Nairobi. I'm just visiting my mom now in Amman. So I only had a chance to go to occupied Palestine last year, only for 6 days, 7 days, 6 nights, but technically it was 5 days only that the occupation allowed me to see my homeland. And I think I came back from that visit more, even angrier than before. So, and just extremely, just furious at everybody and everything. And I think Michelle knew me from before and kind of knows me now after. So he saw the shift. And other people in my personal life also saw the shift. And mostly I'm angry because I saw what I lost, Krista. So what we lost, what could have been. Basically. And I also believe that through this piece is not only the actual settler colonial system that the West has implanted on our land for their own agendas, but it's also, yes, it does exactly what you said. It does basically illustrate for me, the monster in the middle also illustrates the traitor, the collaborator. Because without these collaborators, without the system of the Palestinian Authority or its basically its followers, or without the Arab regimes, I think October 7th has proven that this occupation is nothing without the support that it gets from outside, whether it's from Western governments or Arab governments and the Palestinian Authority. So it's very, very clear to the whole world in different languages, I think. Now, for me, I was telling Michelle the other day that I believe that the monster in the middle is not just the foreigner or the fly, the bab includes all of those people, that collaborate to make this happen on our land. Yeah. So it has never been not important. It's always very important for me. I was also telling Michelle the other day that I feel jealous. I mean, I always, how do you say it in English, actually, Michelle? بغار على الشيء الفلسطيني. I feel like I don't want people to just wear the kufiye or do our tatriz. I mean, I feel like this is ours. I'm like always now very possessive of our symbols, very possessive of our stuff. Because I just feel very protective of everything Palestinian. I don't want to just teach tatriz to anybody. I don't want to I have to make sure that I'm passing the message to the right people who are the rightful owners, who would actually know what to do with it. That's how I feel these days, especially after October 7th, yes.
Krista, let me see if maybe some of the artists here would maybe elaborate on some of their work, because we may not have covered it enough yesterday.
Can I just mention something?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I'm a photographer as well, although now I'm not practicing it. But this image here, it's very profound. And one thing you haven't mentioned is the power of your faces. It's like a message: the Palestinians are coming. This is how I see it. I mean, regardless of this monster or what's happening or the whole story of Palestine. We are here and we are coming. We are coming. Now is our turn. This is how I see it. It's so profound. I mean, the balance between this huge monster and your two faces is amazing. Congratulations. This is my humble opinion.
Thank you so much.
While you're at it, Lamis, did you want to talk a little bit about your work?
My work is straightforward, actually. I wanted to document, in a way, the Intifada, because it was the first real action by the Palestinians. And I was imagining the streets of Jerusalem, whom, you know, they were, our ancestors were walking and talking and buying, and, you know, now they are full of armed forces that are directing their rifles towards youth that are enraged because of this occupation. And their rage turned these little stones from the streets of Jerusalem into like a burning coal towards the occupiers. So and I put the Al-Aqsa Mosque at the end, like a guiding point, guiding power, and kept it open because I always believed in the new generation, always. And now more than ever, I know that our youth are going to have impact on our story. So this is my case, my painting.
Yeah, Jacqueline, do you want to tell us a little bit about those ugly faces that you painted?
Those ugly faces?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it possible to share the artwork on the screen so we see
Yeah,
each?
yeah. Let me do it.
Okay.
Just give me a second here. And we just
You can
need to.
open the catalog. Oh, you have it open. Okay.
I have it open. Let's see. Jacqueline Bejani is in Nabiz. So
Maybe
she's further
block
down.
2 elements as well. That would be great.
I'm sorry.
While you're searching, I did, well, when it started, when this whole terrible slaughters and genocide started, I was completely petrified, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't paint, I couldn't draw, and I was hung to my phone all day long, all night long, watching these horrible scenes, and it was overwhelming. And then I thought, I can't do a nice picture. What I felt, I could only express the horror that I was feeling, and I felt I was assigned to this role behind my computer, behind my phone, this role of just seeing these images and being, you know, I couldn't do except for going on the streets. I couldn't do nothing, and I hated this role of spectator of the genocide, and that's why I did these horrible, as you say, these horrible paintings and these horrible drawings. I wanted to express what I was feeling, what I am still feeling, and the angry. I'm also the angry friend. The anger that we feel, we all feel in front of what is happening. And so that's why I did the fact that there are several eyes. I feel with the others, we are plenty, we are many behind these drawings. So very powerful.
It's very powerful.
Anybody in the audience would like to join us and say something? Please raise your hand and we'll try to bring you on board here. I think we have one hand raised here.
Yeah, Luna has her hand up. Luna, if you have your hand raised, you'd like to come on, just sometimes people raise their hand by accident. So just double check if you're really
The hand was
wanting
raised
to
from
come
the
on.
beginning, so maybe an accident.
Yeah,
but-
it may be an accident. So just know that you have that
Yeah.
option to raise your hand and come on and
Yeah, if
engage with our
anybody would
guests
like
live.
to join, please do so. Let us know. Okay. Any interesting comments, Krista?
I like the angry friend expression. Very good one. And faces are so powerful. Yeah, we don't have our chat is not as chatty today. I think people are really just taking in what you all are saying, what you're sharing.
I would like
Your
to add
artwork is just truly expressing the moment that we are in and speaking for all of us, I think. So.
Is it possible to add something else as well, just as a thought?
Of course.
Since we were repeating the state of anger all over the session, I would say that Palestine, or the liberation of Palestine, needs, as Russia always describe it, it needs angry people. It does not. We need the feeling of anger. We don't need the feeling of sorrow or sadness, because sorrow and sadness will only lead us to the state of submission and just accepting status quo. While anger is something that we can use as a drive. We can use that energy to actually do something, to be active. So in that case, I won't say that there is something called justified anger or not, but I would say it's a must. Having that feeling is a must if we want really to do something and to be part of the collective duty to dismantle settler colonialism and to liberate Palestine. For me, the liberation of Palestine is not about Palestine, because what makes Palestine a central cause to everyone who actually consider themselves with a human conscious is not that Palestine is the most important geographical location, or that Palestinians are the most important people around the world, and that's why it's central to everyone. But the fact that what is happening in Palestine and who is causing it, that creation, that monster, that settler colonial project is not affecting Palestinians only, it's affecting literally every single person around the world. And it's feeding on the genocides and the armed conflicts and setting fire between indigenous people and people around the world, supporting them kill each other, because it's built on that. That's how the imperialist world works. And having such settler colonial project is literally built on that. And that's what makes Palestine central, not because but because of the cancer that is central. So anger is a must.
I think that's why we're witnessing such an outpouring of support and solidarity with Palestine, because the people are seeing the intersection of all those issues that affect their own lives and their own contexts. And, this is just a sustained global consciousness raising. As you've said, people need to be angry, and that's why people are persistent out in the streets, demanding, a ceasefire, end to the genocide, end of Israeli U.S. funding of Israel, and all the complicity of Western countries. So, yeah.
Yeah, we would like to ask Samira Badran to elaborate a bit on some of her works.
Okay. Yeah. The animation film that I presented in the exhibition, it's memory of the land. So if I want to make a rereading of the film now, since the film I did it in 2017, but if I make a rereading of the film, I can speak about 3 ideas that I used in the film or that presents in the film. The first idea, the 3 geographies, the geography of the immobility, the fragmented land, the geography of the body, and the emotional geography, the collective memory. So the first idea about the fragmentation of the land, the thing that Palestine is invaded with checkpoints, with obstacles. You know, all of us, we know the war that invades great spaces, great zones of the Palestinian land in occupied after 67. Then you have the settlements that are on the top of the hills with the bypass roads that connect with Palestine 48. So many zones, many villages are circulated and closed between all this big net of obstacles. So Palestinians have to pass the checkpoints that now it's about 700 checkpoints between fixed and mobile ones, and they are constricted to have a permit. So the idea of this, the idea of the settler colonial occupation is, this is to humiliate the Palestinian, to dehumanize the Palestinian, to interrogate, to many in the checkpoints, many it's a theater of a lot of layers of violence that happens every day. So many Palestinians were detention of the Palestinian, interrogated, tortured. So I considered that this the checkpoint was the most important the center of the work, because it hides lots of layers of violence. So and this makes the restriction of movements, makes the life of Palestinians of every day impossible. This is one point. The other thing, that the occupation has affected the body of the Palestinian body. A part of the body of the Palestinian body is the target to be killed. This is, we see it during the 75 years, but also the Palestinian body to be disabled, to be debilitated, to make the Palestinian body weak. So when we see after the very clearly after the first Intifada, until now, that the soldiers fire the Palestinians' knees with live fire to disable them. So, and also when we see after the invasions of Gaza, and after what is happening now, many Palestinians have lost their legs or their arms, become blind. So to attack the very important organs of the body without killing them. So it's a kind of, it's a slow death. So that's why I took the 2 legs as the main character, that it's a symbol of movement, a symbol of resilience, because they have all this force to go on and to overcome all the obstacles and go ahead. This is this one, and this about this is a very important tactic of the settler colonial occupation, to debilate, to weaken the Palestinian body. And then the other geography, the emotional one, which is the brain. The brain is the container of the memory, and it's the land. For me, the brain also as a geography, emotional geography as a land. So that's why I wrote the names. I make a connection between what happened in 48, the destruction and the cleansing, ethnic cleansing of 520 Palestinian villages in 48. I wrote the names of these villages because the brain became the land, and the destruction of these villages, the elimination of these villages, it's the process, it's ongoing process, what happened in 48 till now. And we see it very, very clearly in what happened in Gaza. This is the extreme, the most barbaric, and I can't find words to explain what is, to describe the brutality what's happened in Gaza. So this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to say about the ongoing process. And also there's the two eyes. One eye is a testimony, what is going on. And the other eye is a wound that is never closed, because what happened in 48, it's a wound that it's a reminder of exactly what happened. And so these are the ideas that I worked in the film, and also there's the sound that is very important, because the orders of the soldiers is an abstract language. It's not Hebrew, because I wanted to express this violence, that it's also universal violence towards the Palestinians. And these are the four ideas that I put in the film. I used lots of techniques because I worked in this way. My work is using drawing, painting, video, collage, working on photographs, and I did more than 2,000 paintings and drawings. And took me 4.5 years. And so this was the idea of all the work. And yeah, and I started, yeah, it's important that I did a lot of these ideas before the film, and it was as a natural process. So I wanted to face the moving image, because I think you can arrive to the viewer in another perspective, in emotional one, and this is what I did.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, we have only a few minutes left, and we have a guest from Jerusalem with us today. We're honored to have Huda Imam, who is a very well-known personality in Jerusalem, and she's an activist, and does quite a bit of work in the media area and keeping everyone around the world up to date on what's going on in Palestine. So I'd like to have Huda introduce herself here. Huda, تفضلي.
سلام لغزة سلام yes, so that will not be sorrow or bitter. Yes, we can go to music, and so thank you, Faisal, and thanks to all the artists who are ambassadors to Palestine, especially with the lack of an effective leadership today. Unfortunately, we're so proud to have all these different categories and diversity of artists coming from different places in the world. Again, a different layer of geography, but we have a common mission. And your work is absolutely wonderful and poignant and powerful, and I believe in the power of people. So I'm born and brought up in Sheikh Jarrah, with a few years in Martinique, following my heart. I'm the mother of Hani Amra, always proud to say that Hani is a very sensitive artist, like all artists are. They have a certain maybe more sensitivity than others, and maybe certain values that we miss, that many people miss having today. I studied in Jerusalem, in France, and later on in England. I went to LSE, London School of Economics, for my postgraduate studies, with the aim. Unfortunately, I didn't study art or music or whatever I would have loved to do, and where I belong more. I did public administration and management and strategic planning, with the aim to support the Palestinian National Authority at the time in the building state. But unfortunately, very quickly, I realized that it's not my place. And I founded the Center for Jerusalem Studies within Al-Quds University, the Palestinian University in Jerusalem, and established 3-4 different centers, institutes, outreach programs in the old city of Jerusalem, not far from the Al-Aqsa Mosque, where the life there is very complex, but it's very symbolic of what's going on today. We have many settlers and all the dynamics of the military occupation, which renders young Palestinians with a conflict of identity, with confusion, with later on, like when I resigned, I thought the best thing to do is perhaps open this time out Palestine, which aims, it's a simple multimedia or social media platform, which aims to bring together especially artists and art practitioners, cultural institutions in Palestine, but also out of Palestine. The importance of the diaspora is absolutely visible today, especially with the ongoing genocide. We see how it's a network of people, of artists, of people with values who share something in common. And my aim today is to empower these artists, because again, as I said in the beginning, they take a very important role to not only to express themselves and their emotions and their feelings, which is something very, very important, but also to show a beautiful face of Palestine, to show a civil way of resistance and of resilience. So I'm a Jerusalemite, as I say. I'm proud to be a Jerusalemite, and very happy to meet with wonderful artists, and wishing you all a quick return to Jerusalem, inshallah. Rajain.
Thank you, Huda. Great to have you with us here. And I think we need to wrap up here. So I would like to thank Krista for co-hosting with me. Thanks also to Rasha Al-Jundi and Michelle Jabarin for sharing with us insights about their work that's on exhibit in Venice with us here. And also I would like to thank the other artists who are with us today, Jacqueline Bijani, Samira Badran, and also special thanks to our artist and our host for this evening, Lamis Dajani Shawa. Thank you, Lamis, for your hospitality here.
Very, very nice opportunity to meet everybody at close distance.
And thank you, Hani, for joining us and being with us here from Jerusalem. Thanks, everyone. And we will be back shortly to announce next week's programming. And we will see you again on the Madafeh from Connecticut
fully
next Sunday.
elections.
And yes, we have an invitation to
Have an
to-
invitation
to
Athens.
yeah, to come to Athens.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. عن قريب. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone. And
Thank you.
Thank
as
you,
we said then,
everybody.
مع
Thank you,
السلامة.
everyone.
Bye,
Take care, everyone.
pleasure.
Ma salama.
Yeah.
سلام
Salam.